camping car.
Camping car.
Camping car.
Camping car. They look amazing. Just took my card.
Nous sommes retournés.
Whee! Oh!
The other thing is though, we drove here.
We drove here. Bonjour.
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 Bonjour and welcome to another episode of OvernightersTV.
We hope you've had a fantastic summer. We really have, haven't we?
It's been brilliant. We've been down to the south of France, we've been to Cornwall, we've been to the Peak District, we've had other little mini trips. We've got so much to show you over the next few months, but we're going to start with our epic French road trip.
And this is the first time we had ever taken our motorhome to Europe.
Some people might be daunted at this prospect, but we were undaunted. I had my French phrase book to brush up on my vocab.
So we were totally prepared.
Or not.
And warning, this episode contains scenes of absolute rubbish French speaking by Ryan.
So we've just arrived at Dover and we were going to be on the 1 o'clock ferry with P&O, and we got here a bit too early because we were keen. We wanted to miss the traffic, and they've put us on the 11 o'clock one. Yay! So we've got 2 hours more in Calais, which is going to be our campsite tonight. But we're very excited, aren't we?
We certainly are. Oh, Lois, we're moving. Look how excited she is. Oh. Camping. Du Gonspet. And we just press drive.
Alright, how long we got?
20 minutes.
Yeah, Lois, do you know what is right and what's left in French?
What?
What's right and what's left in French?
No idea.
Excellent.
Nope, wrong.
So we have le droite, or we have à droite or à gauche.
À gauche.
Okay, so à droite.
Can we just concentrate where we're going before we start on the vocab already? Calais sent it right. He's saying keep left. Listen to Tom Tom.
I am listening to Tom Tom.
Enough with your French.
I don't think you can do hee-haw anymore.
I just did.
My granddad used to do that. We went to...
Where does that come from?
I think it comes back to, in the war, Second World War, a lot of the English soldiers were just kind of saying, well, we're going over to France, and probably the First World War as well, and they, because no one could speak any of the language at all, they, as far as they were concerned, they just kind of went, oh, it's all hee-haw, hee-haw, hee-haw.
Oh, I see.
And that's it really. So it's kind of lazy racism really.
It's very lazy racism, and I'm not going to be doing it again.
No, but you did do it, and you can't take that back.
No.
It's out there now.
I apologise.
How do you feel about that?
A little bit ashamed.
Good. So, can we use euros, or is it?
I could probably use a card, I'm guessing.
Mind your finger in the door.
Just took my card.
Oh, it's ready.
Oh, oh, quick,
Yeah.
quick. So everybody is now probably watching this and saying, why on earth are you paying a toll when you're only going 20 minutes away from Calais?
Turn right, D217.
I don't know.
Towards Eccles.
I've no idea.
Take the second right.
This is where we're not so good,
What,
isn't it?
have we just lost out on a lot of money? Remember,
Well, I have no idea what I paid or what it was or anything. I just put my card in and it spewed it out again.
well, anyway, the good news is we're on a main road that's not a motorway, and I've just remembered to drive on the right.
Oh, excellent. Oh, I forgot that bit. Okay, so it's saying less than a mile, half a mile,
Wow.
and we are there.
Do you think we should have driven more today?
Yes, I do, because it's basically not even lunchtime yet, and we're stopping for the rest of the day. Here we are, Chateau de Gonspet.
Reach your
On spec.
destination.
Oh.
Bienvenue. Look at state of our windscreen again.
You say again, it's never been washed.
Right. Oh, hello.
Right hand side.
Right hand side, Ryan. Yeah, we're shouting at the German man. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at this. Oh, wowzers. We are early. Oh,
Reception.
Lois, look, there's a little park.
She's not.
Lois,
Girl
there's a
anymore.
park.
I'm not 3.
Oh, wish you were. So we were there. It was so easy. It wasn't even lunchtime. It was about 1:30, wasn't it? But we were there and everything was brilliant.
The ferry had gone brilliantly.
Yeah.
Just to go back to the whole standard versus flexi thing, if you do get a standard ticket, if you get there early for the ferry with P&O, you can get on an earlier ferry as long as there's a space. It's
Yeah.
just you can't be late.
Yeah.
So it's something worth remembering. But we were there and we probably should have done another couple of hours driving.
Yeah, we should, in retrospect, yes, we should have probably gone a bit further. But it's such a brilliant site. We had everything we needed. Weather was glorious.
We had a fridge full of booze and food,
Yeah.
and it was perfect.
Literally perfect. Everything was perfect.
And then this happened. We were levelling out the wheels using the chocks, and this chock cracked. And then the bottom of it went up, and obviously it's gone into some kind of oil tank, and we've just filled our washing up bowl with oil.
Feeling a little bit sick.
Well, let's keep our spirits up because
I'm honestly trying.
our travel insurance, our Red Pennant travel insurance, have sent the local mechanic from the local garage. He's coming down. Apparently he's brilliant. Apparently he can work miracles. Because Mel's slightly concerned, aren't you, that it's over before it started?
I am, because I am Mrs. Pessimistic. I'd have to say I've got a horrible feeling that this isn't something that they're going to be able to replay. I think it's something that's either going to need to be totally replaced, whether it's the oil tank or something's going to be. I just don't know. I just can't see that he's going to come along and just say.
No, but
It's okay.
then to be fair, you've always been quite glass half empty, haven't you, in your life?
I have, and I still am, and yeah, I know I shouldn't be.
No, you never. It's always good to be like that. My thoughts on it are: what's the worst that's going to happen? We have to stay here for a few more days, and we miss out some of the other campsites. You know, there's more than one way of skinning a cat, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. I'm a bit lost for words, sorry. I am.
So we're just waiting for the mechanic to come now because Red Pennant have been very, very good, and they have got in touch with the camp warden here, and the camp warden came down. He's really lovely actually, and he speaks brilliant English. He speaks better English than I do. And he came down and he had a look at the disaster that is that. Came down and he said, yeah, it's fine. And Mel said, I'm not so sure about that, because Mel's always a bit of a pessimist. But anyway,
I initially thought it was the oil tank,
well, it looks like oil.
but I'm looking at it now and I think the positioning of it, I'm no mechanic at all, but I think it is the brake fluid, not the oil tank, which I don't know why that's going to make a difference, but I'm thinking that might not be as drastically awful. I don't know. I'm hoping this lovely man is going to turn up and just say, oh, it's fine, no problem.
What do you look like the man in the Stella Artois adverts?
Du- 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 du-
Du- du- du- blink, blink.
Yeah.
I've got 2 cans of Stella in the fridge.
Have you? I've got a big bottle of wine. I might just nick that and see if it all feels better.
We haven't got to do any driving. I mean, the good news is whatever happens, we weren't doing any driving tonight. The
No,
bad
thank
news
goodness.
is we might not do any driving
Ever
again. So it was hot. We were only 20 miles from Calais and we were stuck.
Spirits were low, but luckily we had Lois to entertain us with the bubbles, and I had Ryan with his eternal optimism.
But just before Mel fell off that precipice into Dante's pit of hell, the man turned up.
Yay.
The mechanic turned up. Not that he spoke any English.
No, literally not a word of English, but it didn't matter because GCSE grade C, Ryan.
Actually, it's B.
GCSE grade B.
B.
Really?
Mm.
Really?
No, it is.
Bear. He was here. Ryan was here to save the day.
Est-ce que je dois frapper la plastique and try and get rid of it? Non? Le chop?
On lève peut-être, non? En levant peut-être?
I think he's saying we'd have to lift. You'd have to get
Oh,
it
okay.
lifted properly.
Jack. Well, avec and Jack.
But it's not the oil. It's not the oil. It doesn't. It's the wrong sort of
He
consistency.
said it's oil. He said it's oil. He said it's oil.
Yeah, but he said not from the motor.
No. And then he went off. Don't know where he went, but I thought we communicated all right. I thought I did okay.
Look, Ryan, the poor man. We were calling them, or you were calling them, le chocks. We found out the week that we came home, they're not even called chocks in English. They're levelers. They're the levelers. The things that had got wedged under was a leveler. The chocks are the things that go behind the wheels. And you're there saying to this poor fella, le choc, le choc. You didn't stand a chance.
Anyway, we still didn't really know what was going on.
Not a clue.
Well, he wasn't shaking his head.
He didn't shake his head.
He just said, je revenir.
Je revenir.
When I said, what, you're going to re-veneer it?
We don't need it re-veneered.
No.
We just want it sorted.
He meant, I'm going to come back. But he was going, I have never seen anything like this before.
Yeah, well, you think he said that. I don't know what he said, but he's gone now.
He said he's coming back.
He said it's not oil from the motor. L'huile ne pas le moteur.
He didn't look like we were in big trouble. You seem a lot happier. You seem a lot chippier.
I'm not. I'm just,
A lot
I'm
more
a bit,
chirpy.
I'm a bit hysterical. I think that's what it is, and a possibly heat stroke. So if we could get that choke out.
C'est marqué qu'il ne faut pas en mettre sur film.
Okay, so we're 3 hours into our disaster, and I have to say we are so grateful to the club because they have just dealt with everything from the first call that we made to Red Pennant. They dealt with everything, and we had a mechanic here within half an hour. Julian, who runs the site here, has been amazing, constantly back and forth translating for us with the mechanic.
It's good job he's so fluent, isn't it?
He's amazing, yeah. His mum's from Kent.
Ah. So they went and got the big jack. Wow, it looks like it's covered in blood, doesn't it?
So here we have some men who have come to basically, with their giant jack, lift up our van, get the things out, take the things off, and while they're doing this, Ryan is wearing his pinny that says "Live well, lunch lots, shop often."
Yeah.
Looks like he's actually the naked chef.
Yeah, but I'm not. It's so hot. It is so hot. I'm about to start the barbecue. Anyway.
Lois is taking it all in her stride as usual. Normal day on holiday for you, darling, with us. Normal day.
You seem a bit happier now.
I am a lot happier now because I've been for a swim.
Did you, earlier on, were you actually having a little weep?
No, I didn't actually cry. I thought I might be sick a little bit. I felt very queasy because I honestly thought we are just going to have to be towed back home. I mean, we're still not, out of the woods yet because there's a man holding something under the van and he's not sure what it is.
Yeah, but I think he's doing all right. Yeah.
Well, Ryan's going to cook our dinner. Yeah.
So nothing that a good barbecue won't sort out.
No, I couldn't enjoy it because I just felt so queasy.
Mel, it's back hair. It's common. It's manly.
No, not because of Anyway, they told us that they needed to.
Is it a problem?
No, not at all.
We've been together a long time.
Stop it. They told us that they needed to order a part, deliver a part, fit a part. It could have taken days. We didn't know. We had no idea.
But thankfully, Red Pennant and the Caravan and Motorhome Club took care of everything.
Everything.
They even paid for it all. We didn't even have to put our hands into our pockets and then claim it back later. It was all done for us.
There was literally nothing for us to worry about, nothing for us to do, except carry on having a fantastic holiday.
So the next day, I decided to leave Mel and Lois snoozing and go off to forage for breakfast and check out the site. There's a decent restaurant. You do need to book it, and there's also takeaway type stuff. You can go on the swings and slides if that's your type of thing. And all in all, it's a lovely green site. Of course, I was so busy taking it all in that I hadn't read that the fresh baguettes were only on sale until 9 AM. It was now 10. But we'd had bigger challenges than no baguettes, and Mel still managed to find some old scraps and whipped up a Chateau de Gonspet treat.
Okay.
Of course, all the while, the thing we thought was called a choc, but isn't a choc, was there to ward off any more complacency. The new part had still not arrived, so naturally, it was time to make the most of the facilities.
Well, I have to say, there are definitely worse places to be stranded. If we're going to be stuck somewhere waiting for a park for the motorhome, this is somewhere that would be on my list of, oh, right then.
It's amazing though how we were so down yesterday, and then here we are having a nice holiday. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at the fact that Lois looks completely at home and like this beautiful beach babe. You look like a French policeman, bike policeman who's just come off duty. What are you doing and where are you going?
Inspector Clouseau.
Right, so you're going out on a ride now. Go and get us our dinner.
What do you fancy?
Saucisson.
Saucisson.
Yes, we ate a lot of sausage, didn't we?
Yeah, it was a really meaty holiday.
It was. And actually you went out loads on the bike. It was really cool that we'd taken them.
The bikes were really, really, really handy because I went out and got dinner, stuffed my rucksack full of as much food and booze as I could. There was a Carrefour supermarché just about half a mile away from the Chateau de Gonspet campsite. It's a brilliant campsite. Second night we went up to the bar, had a drink.
That's lovely. Lois loved it, didn't she? It was, yeah, it's just a great place to be. And then finally, the next afternoon,
Finally!
Monsieur le Mécanique returned. C'est fini? Oh, monsieur, merci beaucoup. Très bien, très bien. What a hero. He saved the day. I was actually giddy with happiness.
Yeah, it was such a relief.
Yeah.
Although I think Lois would happily have stayed there another couple of days. She loved it so much.
She would have done.
But anyway, finally, we were on the road again. Well done.
That's right.
And I can't wait to get on the road again. Down, down, down.
Did I sound a little bit like Tammy Wynette then?
Sometimes it's hard
to
be a woman.
Down.
Giving all your love to just one man.
We started way too high. And if you love him.
That's alright.
Oh, it's a rubbish song. It's such a rubbish song.
Yeah.
Stand by your man. Whatever he does.
Just let him hit you.
Not you about go off with other women, but just make sure you look pretty when he comes home.
But is there not an irony in it? Like, we're
No.
supposed to.
No.
Is she not going,
No, there's
this
no
is
irony.
what you do? Do you know what it is? It's basically a rip-off of the song from Oliver, As Long As He Needs Me.
Oh yeah. As long as he needs me. La 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 la.
Oh yes, I know he does. In spite of all. As long as he needs me.
I think my voice is better for country.
Alright. We're now on the third day of our holiday and we're still at Calais and Boulogne.
Hello, Boulogne roundabout.
God, we haven't got very far, have we?
Oh, but what fun and japes we've had.
I know.
Lois, isn't it fun? Stand by your man. Give him two arms to cling to and something warm to come to when nights are cold and lonely. Stand by your man and show the world you love him.
Give him
the
love you can.
Baby. Coming up to the tolls.
Stand by
Oh, I've changed key.
your man. You all right, Lois?
Lois, join in, join in. Yay!
And look who's joined us in the studio.
Ta-da!
Lois, smiling. Give us a van wave.
Hello.
So, how was the driving side of the trip for you?
Well, it was extremely long and went on for a very long time, and you sang the entire time as well. But
I didn't just sing. Sometimes there was lip syncing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we did French vocab lessons and all other fun things to
Fun.
pass the time.
Fun the whole way, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we probably, in retrospect, should have driven a lot further on the first day, so we
Yeah.
didn't have to drive so much on the second day. Obviously, we'd had a couple of days off in between anyway because of the whole catastrophe. But this day, we drove and we drove
And we drove
all
and we
day.
drove.
all day. 9 hours, wasn't it? 9 hours. Because one thing's for sure, France is massive.
We've been driving for ages and it doesn't look like we've gone anywhere. TomTom is basically saying that we're still up there. I feel like we should...
And he's telling you you're going too fast.
So, should we have a French vocab test? Camping car.
Camping car.
Camping car.
Camping car. Lois? Do you love going on holiday in a camping car?
My daughter loves to
Don't
go
worry
on
about the
holiday.
verbs.
What do you mean don't worry about the verbs?
Well, just
That's not the way to do it, is it? I wouldn't don't worry about the verbs. Everybody! Are they picking up?
No, it's answer machine.
What's it saying?
A little French.
What, you mean you don't understand?
Shush.
Sorry.
Okay, I think it was something about 10 o'clock. But it definitely said the office is shut.
Right,
Something reception. Something dessert.
Well, this
10 o'clock.
says, Mel, that we are getting there about.
10:05.
Surely we can be 5 minutes late. If you get there late, there's a place you can stay
Yeah.
overnight. It just means you can't hook up.
Yeah, no, it said that if you arrive after 10, there's late night arrival, but I don't think there's hookup. But that's okay, sweet.
The only thing we wouldn't have is the old air
The air
conditioning.
conditioning, but that's alright. I have the windows open.
It has been so hot.
We'll be fine. Whatever happens, we'll be fine.
The thing is we're not going to freeze to death. What am I doing?
Route Barre. That's not good, is it?
Deviation.
Route Barre deviation. Yeah, when you're in a big hurry to get somewhere,
Yeah.
this is just the kind of road you want to be on.
When you're already really, really late, what you need is a convoy agricole going really slow. A big old tractory thing. Someone going, nah, this is as fast as I'm allowed to go. Do we do it? Can you look, please? Yeah, they're letting me go. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we're about, hopefully, 10 minutes away now from the campsite. A little bit later
Yeah.
than we thought.
It's 10:25, but I've got a feeling though, a very strong feeling, that we will be sleeping in the car park.
That's okay.
But hey, we've got a lovely van, so it's easy. It's 20 to 11. Here we go. Demand de le temps. Ah.
Aha, parking. Late night parking, I guess.
Yeah. Philpott Ryan. There's a bar, and it sounds like there's a band playing. Hooray! I should go and tell them the good news.
She really helped us
So
out
not
today.
only did we get into the campsite,
Yes.
Lois,
Ah, nice face.
we even got a drink.
Salut!
Salut.
What is it, 11 o'clock?
It's 11 o'clock.
It is
She's going to tell us. Dun dun dun.
11:20.
20. Whoa. And we're in a fantastic pitch by the lake. And we've got a beer. And what do you want?
Sel and vin.
Salt and vinegar crisps.
Beautiful.
Home from home. Cheers, everybody.
Oh, they smell really good.
Oh, they do.
They smell like
She's
good
happy.
quality.
Crisp and she's happy.
We were tired.
So shattered.
Obviously not proper dinner. We eventually got to bed.
But luckily, we didn't have to sleep in the car park because Latang campsite was so cool. Even though we arrived at 11 or later, we didn't have to sleep in the campsite.
And even though that would have been all right normally, because it was so hot, we've got the Truma air conditioning in the van. And of course there are arguments for both. You know, there are plenty of people that say, no, use a fan and get the air flowing. Yeah, you can do all that.
Not when it's 30 degrees. It was so hot.
Get yourself a Truma air conditioner. And did I say that? Yes, but no, it is. It's a Truma air conditioner.
It was absolutely brilliant.
Just.
And we then, we slept in really late, didn't we? The next morning, so we were shattered.
Yeah, we were so tired in the morning, but we dragged ourselves out of bed about 10:30.
Probably should have set off earlier.
Probably should, because we had billions and billions of miles to go. Although saying that, we still had time for a nice bit of breakfast. Because I went and got the baguette.
It's all been a bit of a rush. But I needed something substantial because last night my dinner was beer and crisps.
Okay, 367 miles, and we should be there at 5:23. It's now 11:29. Okay, right, 11:30.
30 degrees.
30 degrees.
We've got sunglasses.
It's very bright, and we're wearing sunglasses. Let's hit it. So SatNav says 12:54. That's the time, obviously, and we are well ahead of schedule. Not today, thank you. Not today. So we're still coming through Bordeaux. How long have we been driving now?
We collectively have been driving for 5-6 hours.
Yeah. It's Mel's shift at the moment. You're doing a grand job.
Thank you. We're going a little bit stir crazy, aren't we? Getting a little bit niggly, a little bit narky, a little bit. Getting on my nerves a bit, you are.
I've been singing a lot, and then I wound.
Getting on my nerves a lot.
Turn it down.
It's really loud. That wouldn't on its own have been annoying. It's just I could not hear myself think, and now my ears are still ringing.
I know, but you've probably reprimanded me, so I can't.
You phoned your telling off. Are we just going round in a big circle? I'm going a bit doolally.
Maybe this whole journey is a metaphor for our lives. This feels very different. This feels very different down here. It feels a lot less French. Not that I really know what that means, because I'm sure this is really French, but this feels like we're definitely getting towards Spain. We're coming off here.
Coming off at last. Hurrah.
So how long have we been driving now?
We have been driving for almost exactly 8 hours.
A couple of miles left, basically.
Because that way is Spain.
Yeah, Spain, but Bilbao and San Sebastian, but we're going to Biarritz.
Oh, not another talk.
And so after shelling out once again a load more euros at yet another toll, we arrived at the town of Bidar and our final destination, Le Pavilion Royal.
Thank goodness, because I honestly couldn't have taken one more rendition of a 70s rock classic. Sorry, darling.
Did you not find it thoroughly entertaining?
For the first few miles, maybe, but 10 hours, I was done. I was done.
Oh. Anyway, back to the tolls. They are quite confusing, I have to say. I never really got my head around them. I never quite knew when I was supposed to be taking tickets or paying.
That bit was all right. No, I knew that bit. It was that we just hadn't quite planned it properly, and we did spend a lot of money because you can apparently get one of these little cards, can't you, that you just flash. But we just seem to be constantly putting our credit card in. It was,
sometimes it was $5.50.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was €45.
Yeah, and it cost us a lot. And I know loads of you are going to be shouting at us, going, "You don't have to do the tolls. Why did you do the tolls?" Well,
they're quicker.
They are quicker. It means you go on the faster.
I think if you've got
roads.
loads and loads of time, which we didn't have,
No.
then yeah, take your time. 3 or 4 hours driving a day through the lovely country back roads, and then you can miss the tolls.
But we didn't do any of that. So
anyway, we got a fantastic pitch at our campsite at the Pavilion Royale, and it was overlooking the Atlantic Ocean.
Just beautiful.
Sun was setting.
And as absolute lovers of the West Country, for us, it was just all kind of wonderfully familiar, wasn't it?
It was so familiar, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Apart from the saucisson. Got 12 of those.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's what I think. That's kind of a sort of a garlic and herb one. A more megwedd type sort of saucisson.
Nice.
And that's more of a regular saucisson.
So that's 6 sausages each to start with.
And then I've got these little extra good for you poitrine de porc Tex-Mex style. Load of pork bellies.
Well, it's okay. We can have it called for lunch tomorrow.
Yeah, we can. And Lois is having some sausage as well. Lois is going for Herta hot dogs. Mel, we're doing it. We're really doing it.
What water do you use?
Over Lois there. Just
right, you're boiling it, so it's tap water.
I will hit you with this.
She's a genius, our daughter.
Tell me, if I just plonked you here now,
Yeah.
would you have any idea that you were in the south of France?
No, absolutely not. I'd be saying, wow, it's got really, really hot here in Cornwall this week.
Yeah.
It's Cornwall. It's absolutely Cornwall, isn't it? It's crazy. Well, it's not crazy because it's in the Atlantic. That's a bit of a fabulous sky we're getting there.
It's all right, isn't it?
Gosh, this is the coolest, as in temperature-wise,
Oh, well,
we have been.
when we were up in Calais, of all places,
Yeah,
it was unbearable.
it really was.
But sometimes when we've got out of the van on the way down, both last night and tonight, and I mean night, about 7:30,
Yeah,
absolutely boiling. It felt like you were stepping into an oven.
30 plus easily.
But apparently it's like that everywhere else in Europe. Well, kind of in England, most parts of Britain, and all of France, apart from Biarritz. We've come to the only place that's not. But
do you know what? It's quite lovely, isn't it?
It's actual proper cool surfers here, aren't
Proper
they?
cool surfers. You know, not that I'm checking them out.
Don't leave me, Mel.
Oh yeah, because the cool surfers would have me.
So you're saying if they would, you would?
They don't have to think about it. How are they doing?
Oh, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Pork belly.
Oh, nice. Low fat.
Oh, good, yeah, sorry.
Bonjour, bonjour. Hello.
Bonsoir.
You put the water in the saucepan on the hob, and then you boil the water.
Without the pasta.
You make the water boil first.
What about the hot dogs? The pasta will burn without the hot dogs.
Hang on, the pasta will burn without the hot dogs.
No, if we
Lois, just tell me for a second. What's one of your GCSEs that you're studying when you go back? Food technology. Fantastic. And you're asking me how to boil pasta.
It's not my kitchen.
It's a generic kitchen.
What's different about
Be
it?
quiet.
We've made a right mess already, haven't we? Everyone else looks very organised and tidy, and we've just got a huge big mess.
It's like the twits have just turned up.
I know, everybody else is really cool and European and knows what they're doing. Is us just going, right, well, we've burnt them. Lois can't boil pasta, and that's it, really.
Lois looks quite cool.
Lois looks cool.
And you look cool, darling.
Do I?
No, you do, darling.
Thanks.
No, it's a bit magical, isn't it? It's a bit fabulous, actually. So that's it for our first French episode.
C'est fini.
for now.
Pour maintenant.
Don't forget to keep on van waving.
Yeah, and on the subject of the van wave, we'd just like to mention somebody who was very supportive of the whole van wave thing when we started it earlier on before the summer this year. And that's Trev from Legs Down, who so sadly we lost earlier on this year.
So we just wanted to do a cheers to Trev. So Trev, for you.
Some very strong Belgian, I think it is, or maybe French, very strong beer. Cheers,
Cheers.
Trev.
Cheers, Trev.
So we'll be back next time with more French adventures. We'll be at Saint-Jean-de-Luz, which is further along the coast from Biarritz, where we're swimming and surfing and cycling and eating and drinking, obviously.
All the usuals.
Before going back up to the Loire Valley for chateaux and
Shenanigans.
And really, was there? I don't remember any of that. And wine tasting.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and please subscribe if you haven't already. For now,
À bientôt.
Au revoir.
Adieu.
Adieu. Yeah. See ya.
See you next time.
Cheers.
Salut.
Salut.